Let me know once my screen is visible. Okay, let's get it started. We are already running out of the time. So let us do a small recap about yesterday's topic. So we have just started constructor in Java. So the one line answer that you can give for a constructor: what is the use of a Java constructor? If you come across this question, so this is the only answer that you can give: constructor usage. Okay, so when you get this question, the answer is a one line answer which says the constructor is used to initialize the instance variables of a class. Okay. Very simple answer. Okay, so and again we know only what is an instance variable, and this was the discussion happened yesterday for the instance variables, and we have also analyzed about the constructor with this program. Okay, so right, and I have also given you the clear explanation. I have taken the college admission analogy. People who missed extra class can revise this video once again. You will get this, and the real-time example explanation. Okay, so now we will also today we are going to see a few more things about the Java constructors. Okay, so shall we start, everyone? Okay, let's keep the session interactive. I want your responses in the chat box. Okay, guys. So today we are going to see a new concept. I mean, again, this concept is with respect to Java constructors. Okay, the concept is like customized toString method with respect to Java constructors. Java constructors. Okay, customized toString method. So we know that toString method. What is a toString method? If you can recollect this, the answer can be what? The toString method is one of the methods in the object class. So we have a class called object class, a predefined class. In this object class, there are 11 methods. Okay, and this toString method is one among them. Yes or no? Right. So whenever you are creating a class, for example, if I have a class A, okay, if I am asked to create an object for this class A, what is the procedure of object creation? Tell me. Make it quick. Post it in the chat box. How an object can be created for this class? Everyone answer it to me. A obj equal to new A. Good Chaitanya. A obj equal to new A. Obj equal to new A. Okay. After the object creation, if I want to print this reference variable of the object, okay, this is the reference variable, right? Yes or no? Obj is a reference variable. If I ever add to print this reference variable, obj, okay, internally this obj is going to call toString method. Even though you use this or you don't use this, okay, even if you remove this, but compiler is going to do this. Internally, compiler is going to do what? It is going to call toString method. toString method is available in the object class. Object class is what? It's the super class of all the classes. So compiler is going to add this extends keyword, and each and every class is going to be extended to the object class. We know this already. These things will be taken care by the compiler. In the object class, we have a method called toString method, and this toString method will be invoked. Okay, internally what happens? It is going to create an it is going to find an hash code. That hash code will be converted to what? Hexadecimal number. Okay, hash code will be converted to hexadecimal number, and the class name @ symbol followed by the @ symbol will be prefixed. So this is what we get in the output in the console. Okay, let me do this once again for you. For example, let us say that if I have this is the yesterday's example. Okay, so let me take the class name as A itself for the simplicity. Okay, let me save this class file. Save as A dot Java. Okay, so class has been saved successfully. So object creation, a obj equal to new j. Okay, let me save this. System.out.println. After creating an object, if I want to print this reference variable, I'm going to get a random value. Okay, how this random value is going to get produced? Internally, toString method is called by the compiler. Okay, that toString method is going to do what? It is going to generate an hash code, and it will convert that hash code into the hexadecimal number, right? And it is going to prefix the class name followed by the @ symbol. That is what happened, right? So run this. Java C space a.java. Okay, compilation is successful. Java space a. Okay, so we are getting this value. Okay, so but I want to print some meaningful information in the console. So for us this value is nothing. This is a random value. We can assume this value as a garbage value. For us, we want to print some meaningful information in the console. What does it mean exactly is, for example, if I have the information, if I have some data, let us assume we are placing some data in the class A. In the class A, I'm placing some data in the form of properties. Okay, so not class A, let me take the name of the class as student. Okay. So when I say student, the most common information that we can assign to a particular student is what? Student is going to have a name, right? So when I say name is always of string data type, right? Sequence of characters. Okay, and the student is also going to hold a property called age. Name property and age property. So initially I am not let us assign some value here. So the name of the student is, let us say that let me take my name, Balaji. So the age is, okay, let me take 15 years old. So 15 is just for an just for an example. Okay, so I have a student class. Inside the student class I have two properties. The name of the student is Balaji and the student age is 15. Okay, and I am doing the object creation. Student obj equal to new student. So object has been created. Okay, object has been created. So what are the things that is going to happen internally? So if I want to print this object in the console, System.out.println, we know that a reference value will be printed for the reference variable. Okay, but instead of reference value, I want to print my name as well as my age. I call obj, I want to print my name and my age. That is that output is going to be very meaningful. Yes or no? It is going to be meaningful output. So this is just like a garbage output, right? So we are not, we cannot perform what we call it as, it is an useless output for us. Not useless completely, but it is not relevant to us. Right? So how can I produce an output in such a way that in the output I will get the properties will be displayed in the console. Okay, so let me take this example in the paint script. Now we focus here. Okay, this is the developer's program. Okay, compiler will come into the picture, right? So what compiler will do? Compiler will check if the program is syntactically correct or not. Of course, the program is syntactically correct. Okay, after checking all this, compiler is also going to add few more things here. Okay, the access modifier is not specified for our class, so compiler will assume this class as a default class. When you don't do this, compiler is going to do this for us. First thing, okay, this will be a default class. Second thing is, every class will be extended to the object class. Parent-child relationship, we have discussed this in our previous sessions. Thirdly, Constructor is missing here. Okay, compiler is going to do what? It is going to add a constructor for us, yes or no? A constructor will be added by the compiler, right? These three things will be taken care by the compiler. Okay, I think someone is in. Let me. Okay, these three things will be taken care by the compiler. Okay, the third thing is what? Constructor. Constructor name should be same as what? When I say constructor, constructor name should always be same as the class name. Name of the class is student. So the constructor name is also going to be what? Student constructor. Yes or no? Student. So this is the default constructor that will be placed by the compiler because the developer did not place this. So these three things will be taken care by the compiler. Right? After this, what we are going to do, if you focus here, the first line in the main method talks about the object creation, yes or no? Object is created. So because of this new keyword, what happens? Okay, memory will be allocated inside. Okay, and for this memory, it is going to allocate memory for the instance variables. There are two properties in our class. So for these two properties, the memory gets allocated initially. Okay, so since we have already defined the values, it is going to be what? Name equal to Balaji. Okay, and age equal to 15. Right, the address is going to be the obj itself. Okay, obj itself. Okay. These are the things that will happen from the memory's perspective. I can say that, right? These things are happened because only because of this line. Okay, these things are happening behind the scenes or in the memory. Okay, now if you look at the next line, the next line says print the object itself. Okay, so what it is going to print really? It is going to print a random reference value, but I don't want to print random reference value. Instead, I want to print what? Balaji and 15. How we can achieve this? Okay, now you tell me one thing. I want answers from you. Okay, when the main thread is pointing towards this instruction, obj is getting called, right? So what the compiler is going to do? Obj will be called upon which method? Answer me. Which method will be called here? Just now I have said. Obj will be called upon which method? ToString method. Good, Chaitanya. Good. It is going to call ToString method. Okay. So from here, the control will be traveled to the it will check for the ToString method in the current class. In the current class, the control will try to find the ToString method. It won't be available because we haven't defined any ToString method in the current class. Then the control will travel to the object class. Inside this object class, there is a logic for the ToString method, and upon invoking that logic, the output is going to be a random number. Okay, but what I'm trying to do now you see, okay, I am creating my own ToString method. The name of the method is what? ToString. So I am placing my own ToString method here. Okay, this is going to return a string value. Focus here, I will explain you. Okay, I am developing my own method and the name of the method is ToString method, and I am returning a value, okay, of name plus age. I will explain about this. Or let us say that I am returning a value like testing. I have already explained about the construction of Java methods. Okay, so when I return something as string, the return type should also be string. When I return something like integer, the return type should be integer. So since here I am returning a string, the return type should also be a string. Okay, if I run this logic, can you guess the output now? What is the what kind of output we are going to get in the console? If I run this code, just guess me. If you don't know, you can say you don't know. If you know, if you can guess, you can just give your answers, whatever it is. Testing is output. Good, Chaitanya. What about others? Are you aware of this, or you want me to explain? Everyone, you know why it is testing, or you want me to explain? Let me explain this for the people who don't know this. Okay, let me run this. Let us see whether we are getting testing or not. Java C space. Okay, let me save this program. File, save as. The file name should be same as the class name. The name of the class is student, right? Student.java. Okay, it has been saved successfully. Now let me run this code. Java C space student.java. Am I making any mistake? String to string. Okay, so I need to use public. Access modifier is missing here. I will tell you what is public. Let me run this once again. Java C space student.java. Compilation is successful. Java space student. Okay, output is coming as testing. I will tell you why it is coming as testing. What are the things that is happening behind the scenes? We will understand that now. Later we will try to understand about the customized toString method. Okay, first let us understand this. Very simple program. Okay, so let me make this program in a concise manner. Okay, so we have a student class. Now is as per our imagination, there is a class called a parent class, right? Class object. Object class is the super class or the parent class for all the classes. Class object. Okay, when you prepare this class, compiler is going to do what? It is going to do some changes. The current class gets extends to the object class, right? And what? Default. Why default? Because if you do not specify any access modifier, it will be treated as a default class. By pronunciation, it is default. Okay, and the third thing that we are missing here is what? Constructor. Okay, this constructor will also be placed by the compiler. Student constructor. Okay, now focus here, guys. Student constructor. The things that I have written in red are the things that will be placed by the compiler. If the programmer is not placing it, compiler will place this on behalf of the programmer. Okay, and I am saying that class object is the super class of, it is a god class, I can say. It is the parent class of all the classes. So this is the developer class, this is the programmer class, but this is the parent class. For every class, object class is going to be the parent class. So our current class is extending object class. Right? Inside this object class, there are 11 methods. 10 methods we don't know. We don't know 9 methods. We know 10th method hashcode we know, and we know toString. For now we are discussing toString, right? So 10 methods plus the toString method. Public string toString. Okay. Okay. So this toString method, the default, what we call it as the predefined toString method as a logic, it is going to return what? Whenever this toString method is getting invoked, it will get an hashcode. Okay. This hashcode will convert it to hexadecimal number. Right? This hashcode gets converted to hexadecimal number. And what happens? Class name @ will be prefixed. Now let me make a small changes in our program. If I don't add this, for example, let us understand that if I am not adding this, okay, let me remove this toString method. If I don't add this, the output is going to be what? A random number. Why random number we will get? Java C space student.java. No, let me save this. Java C space student.java. So we are getting a value like this. Now focus here. We are getting a value like this. So what is happening? When you don't customize your toString method, so when you are not placing your own toString method, Let me move it here. Let us assume that you haven't placed any toString method. Okay, what is internal app? Don't consider this for now. Okay, don't consider this for now. So we are getting this answer. Okay, what happens? The main thread will start. Main thread will get access to the main method. The student class, object will be created for the student class, right? So, and this is the object creation process. Object gets created, and this is going to allocate memory for all the instance variables. How many instance variables we have? We have 2 instance variables, right? One is Balaji, second one is the age. So the purpose of creating an object is to allocate one memory for all the instant variables, right? So name is going to be what? Balaji, right? Secondly, age is going to be what? 15, right? And this is going to get an address. What is the address? The address that we have specified here, reference variable obj. Obj is going to be the address, right? Okay, so far we are good. So this line has been completed, and again, okay, the control will be traveled to this. The control will be transferred to this constructor. Since there are no instruction, again it will come back. So this will be executed, and it will come back here. The second line now. Okay. Second line, what we are doing? We are trying to print what? We are trying to print object. So internally, this object will be, again, this object will be treated like, this obj will be treated like, this obj is same as obj.toString method. Compiler is going to add the toString. Okay. Now on top of this reference variable, we are calling what? toString method. Not we are calling, compiler is placing this. So the call will be made for the toString method. Okay. Now the control will check in the current class if there is any toString method in the current class. Is there any toString method in the current class? No toString method in the current class. Right, and since there is an extends keyword extending to the object class, the control will be jump to the object class internally. Internally it will be jump to the object class. We don't know that it is jumping or not. Internally these things are happening. The things that I have marked in the red are the internal things. Object class is an internal thing. Internally it will go and identify the object class. Inside the object class it will find the toString method. It has found the toString method. The toString method is going to return the logic. What logic it is going to return? Class name. What is the class name? Student, followed by @ followed by hexadecimal number of the hash code. This will be returned by the internal toString method. Okay, it will carry along with it. Okay, and this value will be is being displayed in the console. So far, are we good so far? Yes, no? Making sense? Everyone? Are we good about this explanation so far? Everyone, I need answers from everyone. Jyoti and Teja, Chaitanya, Venkatesh, Darshini, Samyukta, Swetha, Jyoti, yes, Rajiv. Okay, so now we are customizing it. Customization in the sense, okay, the control is looking for the toString method whenever you are trying to print the reference variable. It means it will check in the current class if the toString method is available or not in the current class. Once the checking is complete in the current class, then it is jumping to the object class. Yes or no? But we are trying to cheat this controller. We're trying to what? Do some kind of cheating. What is the cheating? We are deliberately placing the toString method by ourselves in this case. So this is our own toString method. Okay. Now what happens? Same program. Now let us understand this program in the same way. Okay. This is our toString method. Same thing. Let me repeat first again. Default method will be there. It will be, this class will be treated as a default class, not the default method. Will extend object class. Okay, and we know the logic in the object class. There are 11 what we call it as, there are 11 classes in 11 methods in the object class, but we are just learning about the toString customization. Okay, this is the object class. Okay, the things are in red, so these are the internal things. That's why it is written in red. Okay, written in color. and after this a constructor will be placed. Yes or no? Let me move this up. Now we focus, guys. After this a constructor will be placed by the compiler. The name of the constructor should be same as the class name. Okay, main thread will be created. All the instructions inside the main method will get executed one by one. Yes or no? Okay, the first instruction says object creation. We know what is an object creation. Whenever you see new keyword, imagine that a memory will be allocated. For what the memory will be allocated? For all the instance variables. How many instance variables are there? 2 instance variables. What are they? Name equal to what? Balaji. And second one is what? Age equal to what? 15. Okay, what is the address for this reference variable? Obj itself. Can be anything, but in our program I have stated it as obj. Yes or no? Obj. Obj. Right, so far we are good. So since we are calling the constructor, the control will go to the constructor, it will execute the instructions in the constructor and it will come back. But there are no instructions, that's why you don't see anything, but these things are happening internally. Okay, the next line, obj. The moment it encounters this obj instruction inside the system.out.println, what does it really mean? Okay, obj is not only obj, compiler is going to treat it like obj.toString. Why obj.toString? We have discussed about this in the object creation process. Go back to the three, on the Sunday's class you will get to know this, why obj.toString. Okay, now the control will identify the toString method in which class? In the current class, toString method. We are cheating the controller. It will check for the toString method in the current class. It has found the toString method. Okay, it will not jump to the object class, right? It has found here. It will execute this and it will come back. Okay, if you don't place this, if you're not placing this, definitely it will jump to the object class and it will execute the logic that is placed in the object class. In the object class, the logic is what? Class name @hexadecimal of the hashcode. Okay, but we are cheating the compiler in such a way that we are placing the same we are duplicating the toString method and we are placing it in the current class. It means the control will find this toString method and it will think that this is the actual toString method and this instruction will be executed. What is instruction? Testing. Testing will be displayed in the console. Making sense? This is called as this is the overriding concept. Future topic. I think you have understood so far. Yes, no? Everyone? Are we good so far? Right. But my agenda is I want to print this. Okay, whenever I invoke, whenever I try to access this obj, now go back and see. I want to print the values inside this obj. What are the values? There are two values, two properties, Balaji and 15. If you want to do that, go back to the program. Instead of returning testing, you can return what? You can return name plus concatenation. We know what is concatenation, plus operator. When you do plus operator, okay, and I am giving a space. Okay, in Java, plus operator can be used for numbers as well as for strings. Numbers as well as for words. You can, if you use it for numbers as well as words, both the property will be concatenated. Like it is like attaching both the properties. So name Balaji will get attached to what? To age with a small space. If I run this, the output is going to be what? A meaningful output, right? Balaji 15. So this is meaningful, right? Compared to this. Making sense, everyone? This concept is called what? Customization of toString method. What is this? What is this? I have just explained. Customizing toString method with respect to Java constructor. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay, let us look into a few more examples, okay, for the better understanding. Yesterday, you people had little confusion on this initialization, especially yesterday in the yesterday's program. These variables were actually not initialized in the yesterday's concept. Okay, I was doing what? If we remove all this, okay. I was initializing these variables. I have a name and I have age. Okay. From the constructor, I want to initialize this. Okay, I'm passing values inside the constructor, student constructor. This is student constructor. Okay, properties are what? There are two properties: name property and the age property. Let me initialize the values by using this constructor. Okay, first value is, let me take Ganesh. Instead of obj, I can take s1. S1 is the pronunciation for student one. Okay, just assume that it is a student one. Ganesh, comma, age 20. Okay, so Ganesh, comma, age 20. Now the student constructor will be called. Okay, what is the constructor actually? Class name. Constructor should be same as the class name. This is the default constructor. But if I run this program, I will get an error. Why? Because we are passing a value. It means definitely it does not want to look for the default constructor. The constructor should accept two arguments, two parameters. Why we are passing two values inside constructor? That's why it has to. This should also accept what? Two parameters. So parameters should be what? String name, comma, integer age. Why string name and why age? We are passing a name. Okay. Firstly, we are passing a name in the form of string. Secondly, we are passing an age in the form of number. That's why I'm building a constructor in such a way that this constructor is accepting two values. Okay. After accepting these two values, what I'm trying to do here is, now use focus here. Then I'm copying this name. Okay. And I am assigning this name to this name. Okay. I am receiving value, I am storing value. Okay, this Ganesh is getting stored in this name. Okay, so this name is representing what? Ganesh. Indirectly, it is representing Ganesh, because from here it will be transferred here. Ganesh is settling here. I want to assign this Ganesh to this variable, to this reference variable, so that I need to transfer the data from the constructor to the instance variable. For that, I will be using what? This keyword. Okay, when I use this keyword, see why I am using this keyword here. You might be getting confusion. Why? Because here there is a, you can see, don't you think that there is a duplication? This is the variable name duplicated. This is also name. The compiler should aware which name does this name Ganesh needs to be transferred. When you use this keyword, it means compiler is very clear enough to understand that, okay, this Ganesh has to be assigned to this variable, instance variable, right? So I'm not going to use Ganesh here. Instead of Ganesh, I'm going to use name itself. Likewise, this dot age equal to age. Okay, so I have created one object. First, let me run this. Now the output is going to be very meaningful. Let me run this. System.out. Can you guess the output now? Guess one. Can anyone guess the output now? Same example. Nothing is there to guess. Very easy. You need to. You just need to what? Not imagination. Take a pen and paper and you need to find it. What is the output now? What is output, guys? If I run this code, you can answer two things. You don't know, or you can answer anything. You need to answer. The chat session should not be blank for a long time. You are wasting a lot of time. That's why. Don't know. Type it. Don't know. Chaitanya, Teja, Jyotiyan, Darshini, Krishna Prasad, Samyukta, Swetha, Jyoti S. What is the answer, guys? What about others? Ganesh 20, no? Why you are thinking a lot of time, taking a lot of time? Ganesh 20 is the answer. Good, good. Ganesh 20, same example. Previously, we have understood something about the toString method. Okay, ToString method we have understood. We are cheating the controller. We are placing our own ToString method and we are defining our own logic. This time same logic, but we are calling we are passing two values from the constructor this time. Okay, let me explain this for you. Let me run this before even proceeding with explanation. Ganesh 20. People who have answered Ganesh 20, good. Keep it up. Everyone. Very good. And people who have answered don't know, they are also good. At least they have answered. These people who are not answering, please answer it from now. Okay? Going forward. We need to keep the session interactive. That's why. Now focus here, guys. Focus here. This is the complete explanation about customized ToString method. Not an ordinary method, customized ToString method. Okay. Now you need to understand few things. The code has been developed by the programmer. Okay. Default keyword will be added by what? Compiler. Compiler will take care of this. Default, and the every class will has to get extend to what? Object class. Yes or no? Extends object. Okay, and so now if you see, we have already placed a conductor. Do you think that compiler is going to place a default constructor? No. This constructor is created and placed by us, so the compiler will not place any default constructor because user has already placed a constructor. Compiler will not will not involve to place any default constructor. Okay, so now let us understand the control. Okay. So the main method will start, I mean the execution starts from main method, all the instructions inside the main method will get executed. Okay. The moment it finds new keyword, new, listen everyone, the moment it finds new keyword, an object will be created. Okay. After this, what happens? Previously the values were already assigned. Now, in this case, only declaration is done, but initialization is not done. So the compiler is going to initialize the default values first. So name is going to be what? Null. Secondly, age is going to be 0. These are the default values because only the declaration, initialization is not yet done. Okay. After this, what happens? There should be a name, right? There should be an address for this object, right? For this memory, right? What is the address? S1. S1 is the address. Okay. After this, now the constructor comes into the picture. So this part, especially for this new keyword, especially for this line, this has happened in the memory. Okay. Now this line is pending. Which line? After the new keyword. This line is pending. Student Ganesh. Okay. We are calling what? Student construct. A constructor we are calling. Compiler will the controller will identify a constructor is being called and the constructor is accepting two values. What are the two values? Ganesh and 20. Okay, it will carry these two values. Ganesh and 20 will be carried by this controller along with it. To where it will be carried to? Let me remove this. These values will be carried to where? To the constructor. This is the constructor, right? Okay, and this Ganesh will be assigned to what? Name. And this age will be assigned to what? 20. This 20 will be assigned to age. Okay, it is like, it's just for the imagination. Name will be treated as Ganesh, right? Age will be treated as 20. Okay, these are the values. Okay, now if you look at the variables before the equal to operator, left hand side of the equal to operator. Okay, this dot name equal to Ganesh, this dot age is equal to 20. It means assign this Ganesh and 20, transfer this constructor variables to the instance variables. This has to be transferred to, name has to be transferred to this variable. Okay. When you use this keyword, it is like transferring the data from the constructor to the instance variables, as simple as that, or the class level variables. 20 will be transferred to age. If that is the case, the null value will be replaced with Ganesh. Yes or no? Okay. Age will be replaced with what? 20. Yes or no? Right. Now the S1 is holding what? Ganesh as well as 20. So we have successfully completed this line. The control will come back to the same place and move to the next line. Next line we are calling what? S1. So when you call S1, it is not just an S1, right? It is not just an S1, guys. It is like S1 dot toString method. Yes or no? Right. Now the controller will look for the toString method. So we have already cheated this controller. We have placed our own toString method in the current class. We look for the toString method in the current class, in the student class itself. We have a toString method. This toString method is returning what? A name is being returned and age is being returned. Right? What is the name in the memory? Ganesh. So it is setting the value and it is getting the value. And what is the age in the memory for S1? 20, right? Okay. This will be returned. This will be carried to this. Okay, and this 20, Ganesh and 20 will be placed in the S1. This will be displayed in the console. That's why we got what? Ganesh 20. Making sense, everyone? Yes, no? Yes, no, yes, no. Okay, now what is an advantage of customizing the toString method? One advantage is you can able to give the meaningful output. So when you are creating an object, S1 object, okay, S1 object, when you create an object, it is going to allocate memory for instance variables. Okay, all the details will be displayed in the console. S1, we are passing two values, Ganesh 20. So Ganesh 20 will be displayed. I can do like this for 1000 or 10,000, any number of students. But I can have only two properties or two reference variables. No, two variables or two instance variables or two properties. By using only two properties, I can able to assign a lot of values, a lot of students values with these two properties. If this is not the case, if I am using a variable name for each and every student, like for two variables or for two properties, for 1000 students, I would be requiring 2000 variables, right? Making sense? So let me take another object S2. I want to print S2. Okay, so I can reuse the same variables. Okay, I can initialize my own value. Next, let me say Teja. Age is 21. Likewise, I can create n number of objects, and at the same time I can display meaningful output in the console. Swetha 22. S3. S3. S4. S4 is missing. Shaswanth 23. Okay, if I run this, look at the output now. Ganesh 20, Teja 21, Swetha 22. Are you able to follow, everyone? Have you understood what is a customized toString method? If you don't customize the toString method, okay, now let us imagine that if you are not keeping this method, don't you think that, see, I have just removed this toString. Okay, focus here. When I remove this toString method, this is the customized toString method. If I remove this, okay, don't you think that the output is going to be a meaningless now? If I run the same code, see, is it making any sense now? Okay, if I do this, if I customize the toString method, the logic, we are manipulating the logic. We are just stopping the control. Okay, the control will not go to the object class and look for the toString method. The control will find the toString method in our current class because we did the changes. We did that manipulation. By adding this toString method, by customizing this toString method, don't you think that we are able to display a meaningful output in the console? There is a lot of difference between this and this side. Yes, no, making sense. These things you will use a lot of things in the real-time projects, especially this toString method. Okay? You will develop a lot of code on top of toString method in the real-time projects. Very, very important method. Don't take it for granted. Okay, there will be some confusion. So I have explained you how these things will work internally. Okay, your job is to do what? Take a pen and paper, replicate the same thing from your side. Okay, though then the program is going to be very meaningful. People who have little confusions, you can approach me if you have time. I will explain you very clearly if you have any doubts only. Okay. Now next thing is, so we have understood the purpose of toString method. Okay, and we have also understood how the values can be transferred to the constructor, and again after that how it can be assigned to what? Assigned to the instance variables by using this keyword. Okay. Now next topic is this is the a kind of programmatical discussion. Let me take a new. Okay. Now you answer me. So if I have a class A, okay. Now tell me the so this is the programmer's code. What compiler is going to do? It is going to place a constructor. Default constructor will be placed. Yes or no? Right? So compiler is going to place what? A constructor. Okay. Now you must understand one more thing. If the name of the class, if you are not placing any constructor, this constructor will be placed by the compiler by default. This is going to be placed by the compiler. It will think that okay, the programmer has forgotten to place a constructor. So let me place it for the programmer. So this will be placed. Secondly, if you talk about the access modifier, this constructor, the default constructor, is going to get the same access modifier as of class. So it is going to be default, right? Since you have not placed any access modifier, okay, this is going to be treated as default class, right? Same thing will be placed for the constructor as well. This will also be treated like a what? Default constructor. First takeaway. Second takeaway, and again, you have another constructor. I mean, for example, if you have another class here, class B, okay, and again, you need to also extend object. These things I know, I think you will take care of this. Okay. I have a class B now, but when I am preparing this class, I have also ensured that this class is also getting an access modifier, public. Okay. Programmer has placed an access modifier, public. Okay, but programmer has forgotten to place a constructor. Now compiler will come into the picture. What compiler is going to do? Okay, programmer has forgot to place the constructor. Let me place the constructor for the programmer. So B constructor will be placed by the compiler. Okay, and if you want to check what kind of access modifier this will be, this is going to have same as the class access modifier. Since it is public, this is also going to be public. Making sense? Third case study. Third case study says, okay, let me take a class, private class C. Now you tell me what kind of constructor is going to be placed by the compiler. Answer me very quick. You need to give me the answer. Okay, programmer's code. This is the programmer's code. Programmer has forgotten to place the constructor. Okay, on compilation, compiler will come into the picture. Compiler will identify or check whether the constructor is placed by the programmer or not. Programmer has not placed any constructor. Compiler has to place some default constructor. Okay, how that constructor is going to be? Answer. C. Do you agree with Krishna Prasad? Good. Swetha, correct. Access modifier is private in this case. I have already said you many times. Yes or no? I have already said you many times. You cannot keep a private access modifier for a class. When you keep a private access, firstly compiler will, it will. So this has been created by me. Compiler is going to slap me. This is not possible. Private access modifier for a class. What are the access modifier that is possible for class? Tell me first. What are the access modifiers? Only public. If you're not keeping public, it will be treated like default. Yes or no? The moment I keep private, it is a syntactical error, right? Compiler will throw an error for this. Compiler will say you cannot have a private access modifier. It can be public or it can be empty. Empty means it will be treated like a default. So this is not a valid case. This is the syntactical error. Case 3. Making sense? Okay. Now the fourth case. Fourth case says I have a class. Now this time I am placing my own constructor. Okay. Class test. Okay. What is the rule number 1 for a constructor? Constructor name should be same as the class name. Yes or no? Go back and check these rules, guys. I have already given the 3 rules of a constructor. Okay. If you get knocked out of the meeting, rejoin it. Okay. Don't assume that the class over. See, these are the rules. Constructor name should be same as the class name. Rule number 1. Second one, constructor cannot have any explicit return type. You cannot use this keywords for the constructor. Static, abstract, and synchronized. Keep this in mind and design a constructor. When I say test, now you tell me, so this constructor is placed by myself. Okay. Now compiler will not come into the picture. It is going to be happy that a constructor has been placed by the programmer. Yes or no? Now you tell me, is it valid or invalid? Firstly, is it valid or invalid? Valid. What about others? I'm not getting answers from Darshini, Jyoti. Yes. Yeah, valid. Good. This is valid. Why valid? It will check for the rules. There are 3 rules. Okay. What are the 3 rules? It should be same as a class name. Yes, it is. What is the second rule? A constructor cannot have explicit return type. You cannot have any return type, right? Void or integer, whatever it is. What is the third rule? You cannot use these keywords. These keywords are not used in our constructor. So this is valid. No issues. Now you tell me. Okay. Now you tell me this is valid or invalid. I am using a return type like void. Think and tell me, valid or invalid? Okay. Valid or invalid? This is one of the popular questions, one of the popular interview questions. You get this question, you will be asked to check whether this is valid or not. Not valid. What about others? Yes, valid. Yes. Not valid. Is there any different answers, guys? Is there any different answers? Teja, why valid? Because everyone are saying invalid, that's why I'm saying valid. Huh? I want to answer why valid. Primitive data type is not there. Oh. Primitive data type is not there. But void is also return type, no? Okay. Okay, Teja, thank you for your answer. Okay. So, you people said most of them have assumed that this is invalid. Okay, we need the proof, right? So let me remove this code. Okay. Let me copy this code here. Okay, let me remove this. Okay. Removing all this. Our constructor name is what? Test is the constructor. Test is the class. Is it test or what? A test. Okay. Void test. What are the 3 rules? Should be same as the class name. It should not have any return type. Constructor cannot have any return type. And you are not supposed to use these keywords, especially static keyword, abstract. Okay, by looking at these 3 rules, there is no contradiction, hence it is not valid. Yes, right, everyone? Valid. Okay. Now you see, guys, understand one thing. Let me save this file, save as test.java. Okay, if it is not valid, I should get error. Yes or no? Tell me, if it is not valid, I should not get error. Yes or no? Answer. Yes. If it is not valid, I should be getting error. Java C space test.java. So no compilation error. Java space test. I'm not getting error. So this is valid now. Why this is valid? If you use a return key keyword, this will be treated as a method, right? This will be treated as a method. It is satisfying the method logic, right? Java methods. Java methods, you can have a method name. What is the syntax says? You can have a return type. If you don't have any return type, you can place it as void. Syntax is satisfying. It is satisfying the method syntax, right? Okay, I think everyone are in. Okay, don't you think that it is satisfying a method syntax, everyone? Everyone, are you getting me? Don't you think that it is satisfying the method syntax? Method syntax says, okay, for a given method, you can have a return type as void, and this is the method name. This will be now treated as a method name. Okay, so it is defeating the rules of constructor, but it is valid for the method. Now the compiler will treat this as a method. That's why we are not getting error. Making sense? If I remove this is valid for constructor. If I place a void, okay, it is violating the constructor rule, but it is validating what? It is validating the method logic, right? Method syntax, right? It will be treated as a method. That's it. Making sense, guys? Everyone? Are you getting this? Right? So this is a kind of code that you will get on your exams, especially when you are giving your interviews. This is how the code. The code looks very simple. Okay, by looking at this code, you will directly come to a conclusion. What conclusion will come? It's not going to satisfy the constructor rules, but we don't think that it is also a kind of method, so we don't get any errors. So this is another case. Okay, now the case 5. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting case, guys. Focus here. Okay, so I don't think anyone, I think freshers, no one can answer this, even though they have learned Java. Most of them, I'm not degrading anyone, most of them can't answer this. I have class A. Okay, let me take it as class B. Okay, this is class A. Okay, so I am placing a constructor. Focus, guys. System.out.println. Okay, acon. Okay, this is bcon. Acon and the bcon. I think I hope you are able to see my two classes, two Java classes, class B and we have class A. Okay, extends. Okay, so this is bcon. I'm creating object for b obj equal to new b. Can you give me the output now? Can you guess the output now? So when I say guess the output, you should focus only on the main method. Remember, you should focus only on the main method. In the main method, only one instruction is there. Okay, when this instruction is invoked, what is that will be displayed in the console? Is there anything will be displayed in the console, or it is going to be blank? I hope you got my question. This is the program. Let me increase this. If I run this, what is the output? Forgot again. Answer me, guys. We don't have time. Samyukta, good Samyukta. Beacon, right? Swetha says Acon and Beacon. Krishna Prasad says Acon and Beacon. Let us see who is correct and why they are correct. Let me run this. Java C space. What is the file name, guys? A.java. Compilation successful. Java space. Only beacon, no? Why Acon will come? Only beacon. Beacon is correct. Only we are calling B constructor now. B constructor, the control will be transferred to the B constructor. The one instruction is the B constructor. So it is obvious that beacon will be displayed in the console. We are not calling A constructor, no? Right now, you tell me. Now, people who said beacon, now you answer this. Now, what is the answer? Very important question. Very, very important question in the interview room. Very important, and you should focus more to answer this. I don't think you can answer this, but try giving the answer. Acon beacon. Jyotian says Acon beacon. Stick to this order. Acon beacon. What about others? Jyoti yes says beacon Acon. Okay, let me run this, guys. I'm saving this. I'm not sure whether you have said Acon beacon with a logic or without a logic, but I will give you the logic, no worries. Java C space A.java. Java space. Beacon Acon is the answer. Okay, why beacon Acon is the answer? I will explain it. If anyone answered beacon Acon, good Samyukta. Samyukta's answered. Jyoti has answered. Why Jyoti has beacon Acon? Why Samyukta beacon Acon? Any idea? Any inputs that you can share? Or simply a guess? Extends, Chaitanya says extends. Extends B. Okay, if it is extending to the B class, okay, first, okay, you are saying that since it is extending B, so beacon is going to get executed and the Acon is going to get executed. But that is the case, Acon should execute and beacon. Okay, no worries. Good try, Samyukta. Both. But that is not the right answer, okay? Not to upset you, but this is not the way we need to understand. We are not supposed to think about the extends keyword. Of course, we need to think about the extends keyword, but in a different context, okay? Now focus here. Very, very important question. Very, very important question. Okay. See, the job of the compiler is, so after this, after answering this question, we will wind up for the day. So usually, so for a particular class, compiler is going to add a default constructor. See, when you have a class A, if you are not placing any constructor, compiler will come into the picture and it adds what? It adds a constructor. Okay. After adding this a constructor, it will also add one more thing. What is that one more thing? The first line inside the constructor is always going to be a super keyword. Remember this. I'm introducing this for the first time. Because I cannot introduce everything at a time. You will get confused, okay? Super keyword will also be added by the constructor. What is the purpose of super keyword? I will explain you. Okay, first it will add a constructor and first line of the constructor should always be a super keyword. This will also be added by the compiler. Okay, in our program, see, we have placed a constructor, A constructor and B constructor. Let us take the A constructor for the example. Okay. Compiler is happy that a constructor has been placed, but it is not going to be happy. Why it is not going to be happy? It should also ensure that the first line of the constructor should always be a super keyword. Have we placed any super keyword? No, we haven't placed any super keyword. So compiler is going to place a super keyword. Making sense? If you place the constructor, it will place a super keyword. If you don't place it, you don't place a constructor, it will place a constructor and it will place a super keyword. These two things will be taken care along with the constructor. Not only the constructor, along with the constructor, it will also take care about what? The super keyword. First line should always be a super keyword. Okay, in our program, we have taken two constructors, two classes. Two classes, there are two constructors, A constructor and the B constructor. Even for the B constructor, it is okay, it is happy that a constructor is placed by the programmer, but it is not going to be happy for the super keyword. Super keyword is not placed. So it is going to add the super keyword. First line of the constructor should always be a super keyword. For the B constructor, super keyword. Having said this, let us apply this, okay? We have an A constructor, super keyword is missing. So compiler is going to place what? Super keyword. Super keyword. Okay, the B constructor, it is happy that constructor is placed, but super keyword is missing. It is going to place super keyword. Okay, and again default, we will assume everything. Okay, and again extends object. Okay, and again in the object class is the super class of all the classes. Yes or no? The class object. Okay, this class object is also going to have a constructor of what type? Of the class type, which is object, name of the class, the object class constructor is going to be empty. Okay, so in the object class constructor there won't be any super keyword. Only for the classes that is under object class, they are going to have super keyword. Okay, now let's start the execution, guys. Now you see, we are creating an object. We know the object creation, everything you know. Okay, we will understand from here. A constructor is getting called. Okay, this control will look for what? It will look for a constructor. A constructor, so it will transfer to the A constructor. What is the first line? First line itself is what? Super keyword. Super means what? What is a super? Parent class or the super class. Okay, what is the super class of the class A? B is a super class. A is a subclass. Since it is extending to B is a super class. So this super constructor is also equivalent to replacing that super with the B class. It is same as this, both are same. When I say super, okay, find the current class. The current class is A. It is extending B class. B class is the super class. Replace the super with B constructor. Okay, indirectly, a controller will think that, okay, B constructor is called. Okay, it will not execute this. From here, it will come here. It will identify super keyword. Super keyword is for what? B class. It will jump to the super class constructor, B constructor. Okay, and again in the B constructor, first instruction is what? Super again. For this B class, what is the super class? Object class, right? So super will be replaced with what? Object. Okay, now this controller has to go to the object class. Yes or no? Okay. Object class and object class, there is a constructor. So the constructor in the object is always going to be empty. Okay, but the controller will travel here and it will find it is empty and it will come back here. What is the first instruction? While coming back, what is the first instruction? Recon. Okay, then execution of this B constructor is completed. Then it will come back to the previous case. It was called from here. Okay, so acon is left to be called. Okay, if you want to illustrate this in the diagrammatical representation, we got bcon and acon, not because of extends word, because of the super keyword. We are going to discuss about the super keyword at least for 1 hour in the future topic. For now, this is the purpose of super keyword. Okay, controller started from here. Okay, it has found what? It will be going to A constructor. Okay, from here it is finding what? Super keyword means B constructor. Okay, and again from here super keyword, which means object class constructor. Okay, all the instruction, nothing is there to be displayed from the object. From here the return call is what? From here it will return here. So bcon will be displayed. From here it will return here. Acon will be displayed. From acon it will return the same place. Nothing is there to be executed after this. That's why we got what? Bcon acon, not because of extends keyword. Making sense, everyone? Any confusion? Shall we see another problem for the better understanding? Can you guess the answer? No? Can I proceed? Answer, Darshini, Chaitanya, Krishna Prasad, Shaswanth. Are you able to give answer? No? Okay, let me give you another example now. Extends. I am taking one more class. Don't worry about this new class. Okay. Name of the class is class C here. Okay. Remove this. Okay. C constructor. Okay. Very easy, very easy. Just focus, take pen and paper and answer this to me. Okay, what is output for this program? You need to keep two things in mind. Okay, when the constructor is not placed, compiler will place a constructor and also it is going to place a super keyword. When the constructor is placed, it will try to place the super keyword. Super keyword and the constructors. Constructors not both will be placed. Both will be considered by the compiler. Okay. Swetha already answered. Acon, bcon, testing. What about others? Do you agree with Swetha's answer? Let me show the program. Think and answer me. Okay. Control main thread will start from the main method. Okay. From here it will do the constructor call. Okay. And there is a super keyword. There is a hidden super keyword here. Place the super keyword by yourself and answer it to me. Here there is an hidden constructor as well as the hidden super keyword. Here there is an hidden super keyword. Assume all this and answer it to me. You will get it. Yes. I have missed Swetha. Answer me. We have 1 more minute left. Answer me. Testing acon. Good. Testing acon. Good guys. Okay, let me run this code. Okay, let me save this file. Java C space a.java. Java space. Testing acon is a correct answer. Why it is a correct answer? Let me do a quick thing. If people focus here who has not answered it. Very simple logic. Okay, I'm making it very fast. Okay, the compiler will come into the picture. It will find the constructor. First it will check in the class A. Okay, this is the class A. Okay, first it will check whether the programmer has placed a constructor or not. Of course, programmer has placed a constructor. Okay, but programmer did not place super keyword. So we are blind to super keyword. Compiler is going to place what? Super keyword here. Class A testing is completed. Then class B. The class B, programmer has not placed the constructor, so it will be placed by the compiler. Secondly, programmer has also forgot, so he did not place the constructor. Obviously, super keyword will also not be placed. Okay? Super good. These two things will be placed by the compiler. Okay, and in the class C, constructor is placed but the super keyword is missing. Super. Okay, every class if it is not extending object class is the super class. Extends object, right? And there is an object class. Okay, internally there is an object class. You need to remember like this. Okay, object class is there, class object. Okay, object class is also going to have a constructor by the class name, object class name, and in the object class, since it's a parent class, there won't be any super keyword. Let's talk about the control flow. Okay, first what we are calling here, a constructor we are calling, right? The control will travel to what? From here to a constructor. What is the first instruction? Says the a constructor, super keyword itself is the first instructor. Replace the super keyword with the respective class after extends keyword. B class, right? So super will be replaced with B class. Okay, it is like call the B constructor. From here, call the B constructor. So this is the default B constructor placed by the compiler. Okay. So inside the B constructor, and again, compiler is surprised to find a super key. The method is surprised to find a super keyword. So the super keyword is representing what? C class now. Extend C. So C. Okay, from here, C constructor will be called. Okay. C constructor will be called. Again, in the C constructor, there is a super keyword object class, right? Object constructor will be called. Of course, there is no use of calling an object constructor, but the control will go there. Okay, it will not find anything to be executed or displayed in the console. From here, the return call. Okay, testing will be displayed first. Okay, System.out.println testing. Okay, the return call from here to where? A super keyword. Here it was called from here, no? So it will go back here, and there are no instructions here. Okay. From here, the return call is going to be where what? The class A constructor. Testing A. Take a pen and paper and practice these things, you will get to know. Making sense, everyone? Are we good? This is a beautiful concept. Okay, these things will be asked in the interview room. If you are answering this, definitely they will take you in. No doubt about it.